I'm Mason Crosby, and I'm an NFL kicker, and obviously as kickers we like to stretch a lot, and we need to because our legs are like strong levers that have a lot of moving parts, and it puts a lot of strain, so we need to be flexible, we need to stretch a lot. And my key is to try to stretch first by moving. I don't like to stretch, you don't want to stretch cold muscles. So I do a dynamic warm-up. I'm going to show you a little shortened version, show you some of the movements that I like to do to just get my legs warm before I just start, touching my toes, pulling on my quads, different things like that. So my first one is an inverted hamstring move. And what you do is you get on one foot and you want to pull your arms out behind you and kind of squeeze them into your back while lifting your opposite foot in the air. And you kind of get in a squat position, pull your legs, and then bring them back in. Go to the next foot, pull, bring back in. And you want to tighten through your core, kind of get everything kind of hot and start moving. You do that about 4 or 5 times each leg, and do it walking. It's easier that way. My next one is I move and I do I like to do the backwards lunge with an arm up in the air, opposite of where your leg is forward. So I'll backwards lunge, I'll show you, and you extend like this, and it stretches out through your left side and kind of gets you lengthening, because ultimately you want to lengthen your body as much as possible before you go out and kick, because everything you do, you're going to be compacting through impact. So you want to lengthen it so that whenever you compact, you don't just, you're not just kind of like, hunching over, and by the time you're done kicking, or when you get a little bit older, your whole body is going to just be crunched. You need to lengthen out a little bit. It's very important to what we do as kickers. So those are 2 very, easy movements, things I like to do starting out. And you can go and find dynamic warm-ups on the internet, different things like that to add to that. Other things, easy ones, then I go into just normal hamstring stretches. Then I pull on my quads, and I do my just static hip flexor stretch, both legs, and I hold them for about 10 to 20 seconds. And that's after I feel like I have a little sweat going. I've done a dynamic warm-up, I've moved a lot. Then I move into the static stretches, because unless I'm, if you go start pulling on cold muscles, you might get them stretched out, but you go and hit that first ball and you're gonna kind of feel it in your legs. Ever since I've started doing a dynamic, like a warming up before I even start, cold static stretching, my first kick is so much less painful. Used to, like in college, I'd just go pull on my quads, touch my hamstrings, touch my toes, and then I'd go hit that first ball, and oh my gosh, my hips are killing me. And I'd go and I'd have to almost re-stretch again, and like just kind of, and I'd build up a sweat doing all that, but it just took longer, and I think I was probably doing detriment to my legs. So now I get a sweat, I do the static stretching, and then I go and hit the ball. And my first kick isn't painful. It's not, you're not feeling like you're, breaking through, some of that stuff in your hip, or, getting loose while you're kicking. You're already loose. The kicking just becomes, you get to warm up and feel good about it. So always, do your movement warm up, run a little bit, get a sweat going, then static stretch, and then go and kick. And if you do all those 3 in that order, you will feel stronger, feel looser, and be able to, kick more balls without hurting your legs. So, take those tips, take them to the field, and go and do it. And thanks for listening to me today and watching my video. And I'm Mason Crosby. Thank you.